Hello, welcome to Tejus Education. Today's video is based on Heredity and Evolution, Class 10 Biology subject. What is heredity? It is the passing on of physical and mental characteristics from parents to offspring through genes. Physical characteristics like skin color, eye color, hair color are passed on from parent to offspring through genes. God forbid, certain type of disorders, mental disorders and diseases such as breast cancer are also passed on from parent to offspring through genes. What is the study of heredity and inheritance known as? Genetics. Genetics helps us to understand how traits are passed on from one generation to the next. So what are traits? They are the physical characteristics. Nose shape, eye color, earlobe shape. There are two kinds of traits. Let's learn about them. First one is acquired trait. Acquired to obtain. If you look at this picture, you can see the lady has pierced her ears. She didn't have the hole in her ear since birth. At some point of time, she decided that she will pierce her ears. Similarly, if you are playing a sport, you fall down, you get injured. That injury is an acquired trait. So acquired trait is nothing but the characteristic obtained by the organism in their lifetime. Here genes have no role to play. It is not inherited by the offspring from their parents through genes. Inherited trait. If you look at this picture, you can see that she has got blue eye color, black hair. So she might have inherited this from her parents through genes. It can be eye color, nose shape, any physical characteristic. So inherited trait means the characteristic passed on from parents to offspring with the help of genes. Gregor John Mendel, he was a monk. He studied science and maths at University of Vienna. He was the person who formulated laws of inheritance. He could do so because he grew garden pea plant and he was able to find out why a particular trait was exhibited in each generation by the garden pea plant. Many others did the same, but he was successful as he blended his knowledge of maths and science and he formulated the laws of inheritance, laws of dominance, laws of segregation and laws of independent assortment. The knowledge of the laws of probability in maths helped Mendel to do so. He is also known as father of genetics. When Gregor Mendel grew garden pea plant, they exhibited 7 contrasting traits. First one, stem length. One was tall, the other was dwarf. Seed color, yellow, green. Seed shape, round, wrinkled. Flower position, axial, terminal. Axial means they come from the side of the stem. Terminal, if you see the picture, it's on the tip of the plant. Flower color, purple and white. Pod shape, inflated, constricted. Inflated means ripe, constricted means dry. Pod color, green, yellow. These are the contrasting features Mendel observed when he grew garden pea plant. Why Mendel chose garden pea plant? Mendel chose garden pea plant because it was easy to grow, very short lifespan, and they had both male and female sex organs in them. So he could control the fertilization, whether it is cross-pollination or self-pollination, and also the 7 contrasting features also made him choose garden pea plant. Now, important term, dominant trait. When you looked at the contrasting features, you saw that the stem length, one was tall, one was dwarf, and the tall one was depicted with capital T, the small dwarf with small t. So, what is dominant trait? From the word dominant itself, we understand that that will be the trait which expresses itself, dominating one, right? So, in sexually reproducing organisms or individual have 2 copies of genes. 2 copies. These are the 2 copies of genes for the same trait. The trait is tall, tough. That means length of the stem is the trait. One is tall, one is tall. So sexually reproducing individuals have 2 copies of genes for the same trait. The trait that gets expressed is called dominant trait. So capital T is the dominant trait. It is expressed with the capital letter of English alphabet. Capital T, capital T, capital T, small t. Both cases it is dominant. What is recessive trait? The trait which expresses in the absence of dominant trait. Let's see. So, same way, sexually reproducing individuals have 2 copies of genes for the same trait. The trait that gets expressed in the absence of the dominant trait is called recessive trait. And it is expressed by using lowercase alphabet. So, you can see that anything lowercase like RR, small y, these are all recessive traits. Here, this is the human cell. This is the nucleus. The nucleus has the chromosomes. Chromosomes has DNA, and one particular specific portion is called gene, which is at a specific location, represents a particular trait. Now let's learn about few more terms that are repeatedly used in this topic, hereditary. Gene. What is a gene? If you look at this picture, if I mark this particular session, it is a gene. That means gene is a section of DNA that decides certain type of physical trait and are found at a specific location. This location will be for eye color. This location will be for skin color. Okay. Now next is, what is an allele? Allele is the variant form of gene. Different form of a particular gene. Eye color can be brown eye color, blue eye color, black eye color, cat eye color, right? And they always come in pair. They are the genotype. Genotype means capital T is the genotype. Now I say this is representing which plant? Tall plant. So tall is phenotype. Physically I can see. So it is phenotype. But genetic code is the allele. So allele is what? The different form of a particular gene. So next is phenotype. That is the trait. The character determined by the allele. So what is it? The character determined by the allele. Dominant trait, recessive trait. This is the phenotype. So trait means which expresses physically. If you look at a plant, you can say, oh, it's a tall plant. You can say dwarf plant. Allele means it is inside the DNA, pair of genes, variant form of a particular gene. Right? Phenotype. The physical appearance of a given organism. Tall, dwarf, round seed, wrinkled seed. Genotype, the genetic code responsible for the physical appearance of a given organism. See here, capital R, they are pair and they are dominant. We know that if it is capital, dominant. Here again it is dominant because again the capital R is there and small r will not be expressed. Here no capital letters are seen, that means this will be expressed. Homozygous and heterozygous. Homozygous means pure form. Heterozygous means hybrid. Let us see what is homozygous. See, capital T, capital T. It is repeating the same letter. It is homozygous. Capital T, small t, it is different. It is hybrid. It is heterozygous. Okay, children? Pure form of allele or same type of allele is present for a given phenotype. So that is an allele. Heterozygous, again, hybrid form of allele or different type of allele is present for a given phenotype. Monohybrid growth. Here we are studying single trait. Height of a plant. Mendel took height of a plant. Tall plant, dwarf plant. Tall is pure homozygous. See, capital T, capital T. The allele is homozygous. Here, dwarf again pure and homozygous. And what is shown here? This is the gamete. What is it? This is the gamete. Gamete. You see that? Capital T, and these are the reproductive organs. They fuse to form F1 generation. F1 generation is heterozygous. It is not homozygous. Okay. And after doing this experiment, he arrived at two laws. Laws of dominance and laws of segregation. Before that, let us study the Punnett square. Here, instead of writing, you saw the progeny, capital T, small t. So the parents, homozygous parents, were cross-pollinated by him. But the progeny was self-pollinated. See, same progeny. It will come capital T, capital T. Again, it will be capital T, small t. Sorry for this. And again, this is capital T, small t. And here it is small t, small t. Okay. So just erase this. So if you see, this is tall. This is also not clear. This is again capital T, small t. This is tall. Again capital T, small t. So the trait that is dominant only is expressed. What is expressed? The dominant trait for tallness. Small t is the recessive trait for dwarfness. It is expressed only in the absence of dominant trait. So law of dominance, the first law. When two pure or homozygous plants, capital T, small t, were crossed, who are having contrasting trait, only one form of trait appears in the next generation. That means when capital T and small t were crossed, we got capital T, small t. Right? That means when two pure homozygous parent plants were crossed, only one form of trait is inherited by the F1 generation. Two traits didn't come because capital T, small t will be called tall only. Even though small t is present, it will not be expressed. It is masked by the dominant trait. So even though two pure homozygous plants were crossed with contrasting trait, only one form of trait appears in the next generation or is inherited by the next generation. This is called first law of inheritance. Okay, children? Law of segregation. Law of segregation. See, here there is homozygous tall plant, homozygous dwarf plant. So there's a pair. The allele is paired. We know that allele is pair of genes. But in gametes, they got separated. Both capital T didn't come to the male gamete. Only one, into the gamete. Only capital T came, and here only small t. One individually they came. They didn't come in pair. So during the formation of gametes, the two allele responsible for a trait, that means capital T is responsible for tallness, small t responsible for dwarfness, was segregated or separated from each other. The new organism formed Here, after fertilization, the new organism consists of alleles that are seen in the gametes. What allele the gamete had, only that the progeny has. It didn't have the double or homozygous alleles in them. Dihybrid cross, study of two contrasting traits. Here seed color and seed shape. So this is the dominant one. This is the recessive one. The dominant is round seed in yellow color, wrinkled seed in green color is the recessive. Both are homozygous. And you see only one capital R came in the male in the gamete and one capital Y came, and from this one small r and one small y, and the F1 progeny is capital R small r capital Y small y. Understood? So we will write the F1 progeny here, capital R small r capital Y small y. And you see here and here we have written the male and female gametes, and the phenotypic is 9:3:3:1. You can easily count. I put the legend over here. Genotypic. Genotypic is also there. You have to just count how many specific, like capital R, capital R, capital Y, only one. Here it is one. Then this is, second one is 2. You see 1, 2. Then 1 again. That is, this one is 1. 2, capital R, small r, capital Y. That is here, capital R, this one. Here, right? And easily you can count. It's quite easy. So you should know both phenotypic and genotypic ratio. Then law of independent assortment. So here the F1 generation, I've written this one, and the gametes formation is happening over here. You see, each gamete will not influence the other. They're all independent of each other. If here you see dominant R and dominant Y is there, they won't influence this recessive Y. Okay, so the law of independent assortment, the law states that during gamete formation, each pair of allele distribute independently of each other. The allele inherited by one gamete does not affect the allele inherited by other gametes. If you look at this picture, we know that we are going to learn about sex determination. So the male gamete is XY and female is XX. In human cell, we know the nucleus contains chromosome, chromosome contains DNA, DNA contains gene. So a normal human being will have 22 normal chromosomes called autosomes. They will decide the shape of nose, all the physical features. But the one pair are called sex chromosomes. They decide the future progeny gender, whether it will be a male or female. Okay, so we have 23 pair of chromosomes, that is 46 chromosomes in total. Okay, now how we determine it's going to be a male child or a female child, right? The male will have XY, the female will have XX. The male gamete XY and female gamete XX. When the X of the male fuses with X, female child is born. The Y fuses with X, male child is born. When the fusion takes place, 22 plus the X means it is female child, right? 22 plus Y will give rise to male child. That too when it fuses with the female gamete. So what we understand is the chromosome, the sex chromosome contributed by the male gamete decides the future gender of the child. Thanks for watching, children.